video, I'm going to demonstrate a really pretty little wall hanging that I made recently. Here's what I made. This is using the beautiful new All About Autumn suite from Stampin' Up. And I'm going to share with you how I made this. It's not going to be exactly the same as this, but I'm also going to share a variation of it using the new Graceful Deer stamp set and the Christmas Classic stamp set. So I think these are really fun to make, and they'll make lovely decor pieces in your home or your craft room, or for giving as gifts, or even selling at craft fairs. So without further ado, let's start stamping. Once you see how easy these are to put together, my friends, I'm telling you, you're gonna pull out stamps that you have and products and be able to start making these right away. So the first one that I'm going to demonstrate one, and then I'll show you some different ones that I've made using the same kind of design. I am pulling in the beautiful new Graceful Deer from our new Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. I have some 6x6 Designer Series paper. This is from our One Horse Open Sleigh Designer Series paper. This is going to be on my main focal part, and I'm going to use this as a background layered on top of these. So these are only a quarter of an inch bigger than this. So let me show you what I mean. 6x6, 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, and 6 1/2 by 6 1/2. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue my crumb cake, my 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 crumb cake, onto my 6 1/2 by 6 1/2 Cajun Craze. I want to make a little ribbon handle so that this can go on the wall. So I am bringing in some of this wavy trim, and I'm just going to cut, I don't know, I'm going to cut about 3 or 4 inches here. Yeah, this is 4 inches. I'm just going to make like a little loop like this. Like, I am keeping this simple. This is a very simple project. So to put that on, I'm going to use some tear and tape. So I'll just put some tear and tape across the top. I'm not going past my crumb cake, and that's not quite center, but I'll make sure my ribbon is center. And let's just peel this backing off. All right. So I am just lining this up on my grid paper. So if I line this up on my grid paper, let's do it this way. I can see that's 6 1/2. That my, whoops, and I usually eyeball this, but if we want to keep it as close as possible. So if that's 6 1/2, I'm just gonna go around the 3 1/8, 3 1/4, put one end there, turn this around. And normally I overlap them, but I'll just put them side by side like that. There. Okay. There's that. I'm going to put another piece of tear and tape over top of that just to make sure it's really securely on there. And then I am going to glue on my 6x6 Designer Series paper. Now I'm going to take my tear and tape again, since I have it out, and I'm going to put a strip across the top and the bottom to put some more of that ribbon. And I'm just putting it right along the top edge and the bottom edge of that Designer Series paper. And now I'm going to bring in this piece here. Now I want to stamp my deer on there. And this is going to get trimmed down, but we're going to go ahead and stamp my Graceful Deer, which I haven't used yet. I saved this piece because I have a feeling I might be able to use that. And I need to play around with that. I just didn't want to throw that out. Do you ever get like that where sometimes you're like, I think I need to keep that? Now you can use our big block, but you know what? I am going to use my Stamparatus because I know a lot of you guys have either our Stamparatus that we used to sell, or you have a stamp positioner, and use what you have. And if you don't, you can use a block. But if you got it, use it. So I'm going to position these right on here like that. And you know what? Oh my gosh, I don't know if Stampin' Up realized this, but these birch trees line up really well against the background of the Designer Series paper. That's crazy. All right. I'm going to ink this up with my dark or basic gray, I think, just because of the colors that are in this Designer Series paper. I'm not concerned about my deer because I'm going to do something different with the deer. I just want to get the snow marks and some of those birch trees. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out of the way. And now I'm bringing in a piece of crumb cake. And I'm going to ink the deer with, let's see what color. I'm going to ink the deer with pecan pie. So let me just wipe some of that ink off. I'm just grabbing a paper towel because it's right here on my desk. So I'm not worrying about getting the whole stamp because I just want the deer. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I'm going to just focus on the eyes now and the nose. I'm going to bring in my black marker for that. And I'm just going to add the markers right onto their eyes and their noses. Which this one, there we go. All right. Looking good. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, now that I can really see where these are positioned, I can go back on top with my marker. Now I'm taking in my blender pen and I'm just gonna pull some of that ink into the image. Careful not to get the black that I just put down on their noses and their eyes. So here is my cut piece, okay? So I'm doing this a little bit differently than how I did my original wall hanging, which I will show you guys in a few minutes. But I am going to glue this right here. So this is a piece we just die cut. Okay, and then I'm going to take this piece and glue it on top. Now we're going to bring in the deer and I'm going to glue them on. This is so much fun to make. Look at that. I just love that. Absolutely worth cutting out, 100% worth cutting out. And like I said, these were not difficult to fussy cut. It was just the antlers that were a little bit fussy, of course, but nothing too stressful. Stamping is not meant to be stressful, it's meant to be fun. And it is, I love it. Look at this, look at this. Isn't that nice? Let me change my light. Sorry about that. The light was going in the wrong direction. Okay, what am I going to do next? I am going to add some autumn leaves. Now, originally I had planned on demonstrating how I made my original wall hanging, which featured the entire All About Autumn suite. And right now I know the papers and the ribbon are currently on back order, but you can still get the autumn leaves bundle, which is the stamp set and the coordinating dies, which, let me tell you, there's a lot of dies. I've just put them in my little case here, and that's what I'm going to use. This is a phenomenal bundle. Phenomenal. I love it. So so even though you can't get the suite at the moment, I know, and that's a bummer, I'm right there with you, but I have to say this bundle alone is going to be so well used in my crafting. I just know you're going to love it as well. I am bringing in some distressed gold 12 by 12 paper from Stampin' Up. So new package. I'm just going to open this up here. I'm going to trim this down at, I'm going to trim it down at 4 inches. And I'm going to add some color to this beautiful paper. So I'm going to start by bringing in a blender brush and some Mossy Meadow. I'm just going to add a little bit here and there because I want different colors on this. I'm going to bring in some Cajun Craze and do the same thing. I'm really making that Cajun Craze pronounced because that's also the paper that I used behind this wall hanging, right? So I want to pop out some of that color. And I'm going to bring in some Misty Moonlight and add some of that. I'm just pulling colors out of the Designer Series paper. As you can see, there's some Cajun Craze. I believe that's Misty Moonlight. And I added the Mossy Meadow because I want some green. But let's add some of this blue. I think I'm going to go back in, but this time with some garden green, just to brighten it up a little. Oh yes, look at the difference. Yes, 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 yes. That looks good. And as it dries, it's like it's absorbing into this paper. See those gorgeous colors? This is now ready to be turned into some beautiful leaves. Look how gorgeous that is. And it's got all the beautiful colors in it. Like, absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to set these aside. I love how the maple leaf already has the line cuts in it for the veins. In this stamp set, there are some beautiful sentiments. And for this particular project, I'm going to stamp "I'm thankful today and every day." So in the coordinating die set, we have these two awesome labels. I love these, the shape of these, they're so awesome. I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to cut that out with some white. So here's just a scrap piece. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. And I'm going to stamp this with my basic gray. Alright, next step, I want to die cut these detail leaves that I'm going to glue onto the ones I've just already die cut. So I'm going to cut some of my copper paper and put some adhesive sheet behind it and then cut those out with my die cutting machine. And because I had some spaces in there, I thought I would cut some leaves. Whether I use them or not on this project, at least I have them. And it's easy to get this started just by kind of tapping it with your finger, and then that adhesive paper just kind of starts to come off. Now I'm going to add my leaves. So I'm going to start with the biggest one, the maple leaf, because I know I want the maple leaf on there. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this one on. I'm going to let it overlap a little bit. I'm going to kind of go in that direction. So as you can see, I went ahead and cut some more leaves using my copper paper, and I do have my adhesive sheets behind this, but I've decided I want to add some dimension to this. So I'm going to run these through an embossing folder, and I'm going to use the embossing folder that is part of our online exclusives. And I should have done the ones that I already stuck on here, but that's okay. So I'm just going to run those through. Before I add any more, I want to add some a bit of dimension to these, so I'm just going to lift them up and curl them over my take your pick tool, and then if I decide I need to add more leaves, I will, because I am also going to add a ribbon bow. So you can see the difference that you get when you start lifting things and give them some dimension. The ribbon I have chosen, or the trim, is the gray baker's twine. This is from the Essentials pack, and I'm going to kind of make like a triple bow. So actually I think I'm going to throw in some white as well. I'm going to leave a tail around these two fingers. I'm going to wrap around these two fingers twice, pull in my third finger, wrap around twice. This is going to be a big bow. Holding in the center, I just slid them off. So I have a couple big circles and a couple smaller circles. So I'm going to trim that off with my scissors so that I have a tail on each side. And I'm just going to take a piece of this crumb cake, and I'm going to push in the center. Okay, now you could twist this like so. Kind of get it how you want it. And then I'm going to wrap this around the center a couple times. And of course you can do your bow differently if you want to do it differently. And I'm just kind of using all my other fingers there to hold everything in place, and I'm just going to tie a knot. And to finish, I need to bring in some pretty embellishments, right? So I am bringing in some of these gorgeous glossy dots, and I'm just going to put them randomly on here. There is my completed wall hanging. So fun to make. And you can really customize it to your colors, your tastes, the season, the occasion, the holiday. Let me show you the first one that I've made when I first started making these. Now this is with the entire All About Autumn suite. So the ribbon, the beautiful oxidized paper, the gorgeous designer series paper, the All About Autumn. So those papers and ribbons are due back in a few weeks from Stampin' Up. Right now, as of September 9th, they are back ordered. But as you can see, I used the same All About Autumn bundle, the stamps and dies. So you can still get those, and then incorporated some different stamps and different papers, so you can really have a lot of fun. Now I did make a Christmas one the other day as well. This one is using the One Horse Open Sleigh paper also, and I just cut out some dies, embossed in copper, and different embellishments from the online exclusive. So as you can see, you can really go to town with these and have a huge variety of different ways that you can do these. Lots and lots of fun. These are kind of addictive, I'm not gonna lie. These are kind of addictive to make, and they are a real nice change from making cards. These would just make lovely gifts to give to your friends and neighbors and family, to sell at craft fairs, or just some pretty home decor in your own home. And I just hope you got lots of inspiration today for your crafting and stamping at home. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Take care and happy stamping.